welcome to Women's Corner. My name is Rose Blossom. Of course, it's exciting to always be on this program, Women's Corner. We'll talk about women, we'll talk about children at the same time, because you can have women and not have children, obviously. And of course, we'll talk about men too in some aspects. But here we are here to just empower women, give them the training issues and how to sort themselves in relationship, in marriage, their lifestyle. And of course, if you have an NGO, you're an entrepreneur, you have a story to tell us, of course, Galaxy is here for you on Women's Corner, strictly Women's Corner. We give all the platform to all the women out there to share their story. And also, we talk about some serious trending issues. Just like today, I told you it's going to be exciting because we are going to be talking about women's rights according to Nigeria's law. So there are some certain angles that a lot of women do not know their rights. They do not know how to stand for themselves. So I'm here to make sure that you understand that. So we have a legal practitioner that will be joining us pretty soon. But I want you to know that we are live on Facebook and Galaxy TV web. You can join us right there. And of course, we have Galaxy TV News and we have Galaxy TV Entertainment. But to watch this program live, just tune into Galaxy TV web and you watch us live. Also, we have our YouTube channels. We have Galaxy TV News, Galaxy TV Comedy, Galaxy TV Entertainment, and Galaxy TV. Do you know that we have an app also? You can go to Play Store, Google Play Store, or Apple Play Store to be part of the program. And of course, like, subscribe, and share. You're welcome again to the program. It's good to be here. Okay, this time around, we'll be taking a fashion tip first before we introduce our guest that will be joining us today to talk about women's rights according to Nigerian law. So let's quickly check for fashion and clothing hacks for women. I know a lot of people have issues, waking up, dressing, going to work. You start thinking, what do I wear? You bring out like 3 pieces of clothes, 4 pieces of clothes. You can't still put together what you want to wear. Yes, I go through that. But creating this hack actually made me understand that this is the best way. And the first one is always make sure that you have like 3 to 4 clothing in your head that you want to wear a day before the day. So by the time you put them together, you already have a picture of what you're wearing. It's not easy. You see a woman standing in front of a full wardrobe and still she'll say she has nothing to wear. So that's why I had to bring this one. Fashion and clothing hacks for women. This is interesting. So keep your ears to what they'll be saying. And of course, you'll learn 1 or 2. So let's take the fashion tip and we'll be right back to introduce our guest and get talking. Stay with us.
15 style hacks every woman should know. Every woman, at least once in her lifetime, has felt like they had nothing to wear, even while standing in front of a closet full of clothes. There are many reasons why we face this problem. However, few of us realize how simple those reasons are. Some women shop in the wrong stores, can't match colors correctly, or they don't use details and accessories properly. Others simply don't know how to accentuate their best features and keep making bad style decisions while spending copious amounts of money. As a result, our closets are full of useless stuff that we never wear. Here are some of the hacks that would help you ladies. Keep the outfit in your head. If you want to put an end to the "I have nothing to wear" problem, you have to stop buying random items even if you really like them. You should have the whole outfit in your head, including accessories. Shop in the right store. Not all store can have a fit for your shape, size, and age. Your outfit should say a lot about who you are. It should be appropriate for your age, status, and peculiarities of your body. Calculate the real price of the item. Every single item in your wardrobe has to be worth the money you pay for it. It's all about simple math. To get the real price of that gorgeous dress or pair of shoes you have your eye on, divide its price by the number of times you're actually going to wear it. This will help you avoid unnecessary spending and you'll soon learn to buy what you really need. Combine basic items with the latest trends. Timeless basics are your wardrobe essentials. Their simple cuts never go out of fashion and can be combined with almost anything. Think about making basics 70% of your wardrobe, while the other 30% are trendy pieces that won't last for long. Adding trends to your basics is a great way to keep your wardrobe stylish, modern, and bold. Mix different styles with a sporty look. The coolest look comes from a tasteful mixture of different styles, a contrast of colors, and different types of fabrics. Sporty style doesn't necessarily mean sweatpants and a pair of sneakers. It includes a great number of styles and looks that one might not necessarily consider sporty, but the most stylish combinations are usually those mixed with a sporty style.
Now, the constitution does not really talk about does not explicitly talk about reproductive rights, but we have certain laws in Nigeria that has been enacted, like the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2018. But the only problem with that act is that it's only effective in the FCT. So what happens to the rest of Nigeria? Now, but let's talk about the act itself. We call it VAP, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. This act addresses issues related to reproductive rights, such as protecting women from forced marriage.
I was really enjoying that, and I really wanted to understand what she was about to make a very good point and about reproductive and of course health in women, which is one of the laws, very certain. I have that in my question, but it's good she's already diverting into that. It's unfortunate we have hang in the network, but while we're still waiting for the network to get back on our side, we have a tip for you. But I just want you to know, she mentioned something. You have the right to own a property as a woman in Nigeria. And of course, she was stating the fact about the reproductive health and our right under the Nigerian constitution and law. But she said she's surprised that it only works in FCT Abuja. So she's wondering what happens to the rest of Nigerians. But anyways, she has enough answers to give to a lot of questions I have for her today. But while we wait for the network to be on our side, like I earlier said, let's quickly go for a health tip. I didn't even know we're going to go that way. But let's go for a health tip. This is just for people who, I noticed this period is a bit frustrating to a lot of Nigerians because of the economy. So you see a lot of persons, even despite the fact that they don't have enough to eat or to even clothe themselves, you always see that every bar, every lounge is always filled up. In fact, every corner where you're going home is always filled up with people. Okay, she's back. Okay, let me just finish what I'm saying. It's always filled up with people, you know, drinking, having fun. And yes, okay, I was supposed to take a tip for a healthy kidney, how to have a healthy kidney and maintain a healthy kidney. But we're going to do this we're going to keep talking for a while. Then after that, we'll go for a short break. So we're going to have the tip. But Joy is already with us. So I'll just say you should please continue with the reproductive.
I'm so sorry about that. I didn't know my internet had gone off. I was not talking. All right. Okay. So let me just get back into it. So we're saying that the kind of culture that we have in Nigeria is such that talking about things like abortion is still considered illegal in Nigeria, except where it is to save a woman's life. So, but you see, the convention the convention eliminating the international convention also emphasizes that the CEDAW is quite a mouthful, really. Emphasizes that it's important that women have right to family planning. Article 12 of that particular international convention obligates that every woman should have equal access to health care, including reproductive health services. You know, I'm going to jump some certain things. I'm going to dive straight into three rights issues that is really prevalent in Nigeria. The first is sexual harassment in the workplace. I don't think I've met a lady in Nigeria that has not experienced. I'm yet to meet. There might be actually, but I am yet to meet a lady that has not experienced some form of sexual harassment. Now, you know, many people have narrowed sexual harassment to mean when you are inappropriately touched. Sexual harassment includes verbal harassment, making inappropriate comments in a workplace that makes the woman uncomfortable. That is sexual harassment. A lot of women and even men, especially men, do not understand that sexual harassment also includes your comments. Let me get a typical example. A woman walks into an office, and then, in fact, it can also include a gesture. And suddenly there's a guy that follows her with his eyes and staring at her to the point that she's uncomfortable. Then he makes an inappropriate comment and says, I like your bum bum. That is sexual harassment.
Obviously.
Making inappropriate comments. And when you pick it up, they say, I'm playing with you now for you. You can't even take a joke. They try to push it aside. I've seen such things happen. And the lady's uncomfortable. Then the lady not probably dressed when she gets that continuously. She's not forced to, in order to, kind of downplay. She's not forced to downplay her dressing. She's not forced to wear baggy clothes. Because at this point, she feels like the only way she can be comfortable in the office is not dressing smartly. I need to be dressed in a certain kind of way, So in that place, that is sexual harassment. She has been made to feel uncomfortable in her own skin, in her own office. The Labour Act, which governs employment relationship, does not explicitly address sexual harassment, but it provides for general protection of workers. Section 17 of the Labour Act requires employers to provide humane conditions of work and treat employees with dignity. Part of workplace dignity is to avoid behavior that undermines the dignity of a worker, which includes sexual harassment, in my strong opinion.
Sure.
So, I would say that, of course, we know that the Labour Act 2004 is like 10 years, 2004 is like 20 years behind. But these are some of the reforms that we need to have included in the, I've been calling for the Labour Act. I've been calling for a revision of the Labour Act, really, in every opportunity, every platform I get to speak, I call for the revision of the Labour Act. And I think that addressing sexual harassment in the workplace is something that should be included in the Labour Act.
Okay.
So I would also say that, we also have the Criminal Code. The Criminal Code, Section 360 of the Criminal Code, has criminalized indecent assault against women, which includes any unlawful, unwelcome physical contact with a sexual connotation. And the punishment is imprisonment of up to 2 years.
Wow.
We also have Section 351 of the Criminal Code, which has also criminalized assault. So you see, women, when you find yourself in a position, you can report that worker, you can report that employee, you can report that employer to the authorities, to the police. And
all right,
those
Joy.
of us who live in Lagos State, yes,
okay,
we
Joy,
have
can you hear
an
me?
avenue. Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I know you really want to go deep, but I have some certain questions. And it's amazing the way you are answering some of the questions even before being asked. You talked about the reproductive, you talked about assault, you talked about violence, colleagues' comments, things that are not welcoming to women, teaching us our rights. It's so very nice that you could even, dabble into that without even being questioned. But I have some other questions I really want to ask. But before I go on with my questions, I want us to take this healthy tip, of course, for our kidney, because a lot of young men and women now, you see a woman in a bar drinking 4-5 bottles of beer. I don't know. They are now competing with men. And the amazing thing is some of them don't even have pot belly like the men grow the pot belly. It's amazing, but not amazing anyways. So, but let's quickly, we'll still have you. You're still with us, definitely, but we just need to take a break at this time around. So when we come back, definitely, I want to ask you about the marriage law, and of course I'm going to ask about child when it comes to child care and support, because a lot of women do not understand their right when it comes to that. But before that, let's go for health tips, and this is about maintaining your kidney healthily. We'll be right back.
Kidney does many important jobs essential for our body, like removing waste products and extra water in the form of urine. They also help in controlling blood pressure, keeping bones healthy, and making red blood cells. Kidney disease lasting for less than 3 months is called acute kidney injury or disease. Chronic kidney disease is which is present for more than 3 months. Even if kidney fully recover, in the case of acute kidney injury, it can have long-term consequences on health. Risk factors for kidney disease are diabetes, hypertension, kidney stones, infections, overweight and obesity, over-the-counter painkiller use, previous acute kidney injury, family history of kidney disease, and very low birth weight. Here are tips to maintain healthy kidney. Be fit and active. Regular exercise maintains blood pressure and helps control blood sugar. Stop smoking. Avoid carbonated soft drinks. Drink plenty of water. Avoid over-the-counter painkiller intake. Regular use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen and naproxen can damage your kidneys. Certain other medications, toxins, pesticides, and illegal drugs such as heroin and cocaine can also cause kidney damage. Take medications as directed. Keep your blood pressure in the target range. Stay in your target cholesterol range. Eat food lower in salt. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Keep your weight in target range. Limit alcohol intake. Heavy alcohol consumption can raise blood pressure and add calories. Get enough sleep. Getting a checkup. Make sure to get your kidney checked too with urine, blood, and ultrasound tests.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Women's Corner, and right here we're talking about women's rights according to Nigerian law. So, okay, we still have Joy Benson with us. She's a legal practitioner, and she's been doing fantabulously well. Permit me to use that word. She has been doing amazingly well, diving into different areas of what women need to understand when it comes to their rights according to Nigerian law. So my question to you, I'm just going to model all the questions together because I know eventually once I say this, you just go into everything. So I'm just going to ask the questions straight up. So my question is, how does the Nigerian law address this issue of polygamy, divorce, and child custody in the context of women's rights? And also, what are the legal protections that exist for women against domestic violence, and how effective are they in practice?
Well, thank you very much. So the first question was on polygamy in, okay. All right. Now, culturally, I need to do a little bit of background here. Okay. Culturally, we would say Nigeria is indigenously a polygamous society. But according to the Matrimonial Causes Act, and we do not practice polygamy in Nigeria. Marriage is defined as between one man and one woman at a time. So yes, but we have religious but if you marry under the Islamic law, then of course you can the man can have more than one wife. If you marry under the cultural and under native law and customs, then yes, the man can have more than one wife. But if you marry under the MCA, that's the Matrimonial Causes Act, which is the which is the court wedding. We all call it court wedding. You cannot marry more than one wife at the same time. You will be convicted of the crime of bigamy because you're still legally married to one woman. You're still legally married to one woman, so you cannot marry more than one wife. Why? For example, I've seen a practice where a man marries a woman and then goes to marry a second wife. Culturally, the man can be arrested. I can arrest you and take you to court because that's bigamy. Until you're legally divorced from your previous wife, you cannot marry a second wife, whether under customary law or under Islamic law. So if you know that you are polygamous and you cannot marry one wife, don't go and carry the woman to court and say you want to marry her. Go and marry her under Islamic law. Go and marry her according to your native customs and culture. Then that one you can marry as many as you want. But even Islamic law, I think is the maximum is about four wives. So it's better to be safe than for us to arrest. But I find a lot of women don't even know that I can actually arrest a husband for bigamy. In fact, there was a particular interesting case that it actually went to court for something else there, but in court they call a case one after the other. So the case in front of me, this man actually married 4 different women in 4 different regions of Nigeria in courts, and all women have children for him. The audacity of some men. How did this matter come to light? That's where the story is. The lady that brought him up, she got him arrested for bigamy and all of that. So how she found out that, I can't remember the details of the case now, but she found out that the man had another wife, and then sent an investigator, and in the course of investigation found out that this man had 2 other wives. So plus this second wife that she was even arresting him for, he found that the man had 2 other wives across different places in Nigeria. These women were in court that day. It was like I was watching a real life Nollywood film. Honestly, even the judge herself was confused. She was in shock, But that was the woman finally exercised her rights, and that was how she was able to unearth the terrible things her husband had been doing. I would say the man is a bad man, but if you know that you want to be polygamous, then do not marry under the Nigerian law, and under the Nigerian law, do not go to court. Who are married under native law and custom? Then the woman cannot be saying that you are practicing polygamy because she married under native law and custom, which allows for polygamy. You understand? Then, of course, the issue of divorce. Now, divorce is treated on a case-to-case basis because you cannot you can't use one divorce case to judge. I mean, there are several issues that the court will consider before the Nigerian court will grant a divorce absolute. In fact, it's a long process, and the reason why the divorce process is long is not to make things harder for the applicant, for the woman, but because they are trying to give an opportunity for the couples to reconcile. So even in the case of divorce, you have stages, and you have what do you call it? Oh my God, what is escaping me now? There are reasons before. There are things that you need to satisfy to the court before you can present a case of divorce before the court. So the court has its processes on how to go about a divorce. Now, of course, there are extreme cases where the woman, probably there's domestic violence is involved. Maybe there's sexual harassment involved. There's a sexual, for example, there was a divorce case that my law firm treated about 2 years ago. And in that particular divorce case, the woman found that her husband was abusing their 14-year-old nanny in the house.
Wow. Sexually
abusing the girl, and had gotten her pregnant twice. This young lady had an abortion. So these are some of the things that, women rights that, she's a young girl who was there to protect her rights. She obviously did not go to school, doesn't want to talk to. This man had threatened her. How did this lady even get to know? The man took her for abortion again. But thank God that the doctor she met, this man, they had to do a scan and all of that. And the man found out that this was not her first abortion. There was a scarring of the womb. And then he was the doctor was just so fantastic. He excused the man. So I just want to do some more. The man was like, no, you must do it to my place. He said, no, I want to do some. He just used some medical terms and got the guy out of the place. And then had a conversation with this young girl. And immediately called the authorities. Had this man detained and had to call the authorities. And that was how this woman got to know that her husband had been sexually abusing their 14-year-old living nanny and had gotten her pregnant twice. So at that point, of course, she went, she sued for divorce and all of that. In those kind of exceptional cases, the court did not take time, because at this point, in fact, they actually had the woman had the man arrested. Yes, it's a violent crime. And it was taken up by the Lagos State government. I want to give great kudos to the Lagos State government, really. They have been doing exemplary work. with their domestic and sexual violence response department. Okay, for Lagos State, for women that, you have the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency of Lagos State, and it is it's located within the Lagos State Ministry of Justice in Alausa. So you can just walk into their office and make a complaint. So those are reprieves that women who are facing such issues. If you are a victim of domestic violence, don't say that I don't want to see me as a victim. People that have said so have died.
Sure.
Have died. Because they don't want to be seen as victims. It does not matter. It's a name. And you can choose to be another name. You can save someone else in future. Because we even have sexual offenders registered right now in Lagos State. Even the VAP also provides for that. So these are rights that women know. One of the things I've also found out that has been lacking is education of our women's rights. And I'm so thankful for this program. This is a fantastic program. Thank you so much, Galaxy TV, for this. Thank you for having this segment on women's rights, because a lot of women need to know what they are entitled to as women. You are not a victim. You have a voice, and you can insist on certain things within your rights. Your reproductive rights is one of those things. Another thing that I think I want to mention before I go into the issue of custody of children is the fact that I've seen young ladies, unmarried young ladies, being victimized and shamed in our society for seeking out family planning methods in Nigeria. It's something that has been prevalent. Now, am I advocating for I don't know what to call it now. Am I advocating for sex outside of marriage? No, I'm not, because I'm a Christian. But I am saying that this forms part of our rights. And if a young lady comes to your office, your question should not be, you are not married. What are you doing with family planning? That should not be your question. You should not make the woman feel ashamed. Because you see, if she does not have access to family planning, then we're going to be dealing with unwanted pregnancies. We are dealing with spread of STIs. Do you understand? So these are some of the things that young ladies, you find out that they come and they lie, are married, because they don't want to feel that shame or judgmental feeling from our matrons or gynecologists that will look at it one bad eye, as if they themselves were virgins when they were getting married. I'm just saying.
Joy.
So, but I'm trying to say that I'm just trying to create that these are things. Now, for the custody of children, to answer your question, for the custody of children, that is also determined by the circumstances of the case. So there's no women generally are considered primary caregivers for children. But we've also seen cases. I have also personally witnessed cases where the woman was violent and custody had to be given to the man. So that is why, as much as it's not an automatic thing, because you're a woman, you are giving automatically custody. Kids are given, you are granted custody of children. No, there are so many factors that the court is going to decide. The court is going to decide on what will be the best interest of the child. The child is the primary factor when the court is deciding on custody. What will be the best interest of the child? To stay with the mom or stay with the dad? In terms of custody. So when women are talking about custody, I say, have you gotten your own acts together? Have you gotten your acts together? Can you provide a good and enabling environment for this child? Is it in the best interest of the child to stay with you as a woman? Just because of the female gender does not automatically mean that you get custody of the child. Now, to answer the question on domestic violence, I'm not trying to rush. To answer the question on domestic violence and what we have, like I said, we have Lagos State already has
in like 1 or 2 minutes. I think I really appreciate that, because that time is almost up.
All right, okay, so I'll quickly round up on this.
Yeah.
So Lagos State already has like I just mentioned, the agency. If you just walk into their office in the Lagos State Ministry of Justice at Alausa there, and they'll give you all the help that you need. Then we have the Protection Against Violence Domestic Law, which is also available to FCT law. But I found out that they do have commands all over Nigeria. So all you need to do is just go to their website. I would read out the website again. Once you get to the website, you get to learn about them. So you can approach their nearest command to you. We have it's called the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Department. You can just go to their website and look for their nearest office to you. Violence Against Persons Prohibition Department. So we also have several NGOs that deal with women's rights that you can also look up and, reach out to them to talk to you about, to help you in whatever vulnerable situation you might find yourself. We have Stand to End Rape Initiative here in Lagos. We have the Women's Aid Collective in Enugu. I'm just going to read like 3 more. We have the Equality Through Education in Abuja. We have Girl Child Concerns in Kaduna. We have Action Health Incorporated in Lagos State. We have Yaga Africa also in Abuja. No, there's several. All you need to do is just Google, and you would find out about several NGOs that are promoting women's rights and provide solutions and protection for the women and girl child. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh Lord, I'm filled with so much smiles because you were able to perform magic right here on the show. I'm gonna be honest. You literally answered every question I had today. And it's rare because it's rare when I have questions in my head that I want to ask my guests. Sometimes we don't even get up to 5 questions and, time is already up. But, you were able to go and touch every aspect of my questions, even not so deep, but at least from the surface, from the scratch. And you did very well. Thank you so much for honoring us and giving us this amazing, you just gave us some power right here. If you do not know, you gave us power because you made us understand our rights. You made us understand what we need to do when we face some certain problems or in a certain fix. So thank you very much, Joy Benson, for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And from all of us at Galaxy Television, we do appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, that's it from Joy Benson. Amazing one. If you have missed this episode, you have missed a whole lot. It was not so easy having Joy to join us, but, she said, I am going to make it because I need to make women understand their rights. So we really do appreciate it. And of course, if you need to get more information, you can reach us via our social media platforms. Just go in there and type your questions or try to connect with us. And of course, we will be there to respond. It's been an amazing session, like I said.